Hello and welcome to the Micro Business Development Program Deep Dive Podcast, hosted by three guys in ties. I'm Tyler Jokinen, Micro Business Counselor and Project Embrace Coordinator.
I'm Adam Annunziata, Business Counselor with Brock Community Action.
And I'm Benton Winrich, Business Counselor with Brock Community Action.
Welcome to the Three Guys in Ties podcast. Today we have a very special guest, Heather Derosia. She is the owner of Elevated Admin based in Rutland. She does offer remote services, so her services are available in your area. She focuses on a wide array of administrative services, focusing mostly on bookkeeping. I'll let her tell you more about that. Take it away, Heather. You want to tell us a little bit more about your business?
Sure. Hi. Thanks for having me on today. My name's Heather, and I am the owner and founder of Elevated Administrative Services, LLC, otherwise known as Elevated Admin. The first title is quite a mouthful. I do bookkeeping, primarily with QuickBooks, and I work with small businesses and micro businesses. Most of my clients are here in Vermont, but as Adam mentioned, I am remote, so I can have clients across the country. I have one in California where I moved here about 4 years ago from San Francisco. So I still retained a client from back then, and it's a pretty convenient service to have right now in these times.
We are so excited. Thank you very much for coming to join us today, Heather. I for one, am such a big believer, as everyone knows, in bookkeeping, in keeping your business organized, and that business owners should not try to do everything. You should not try to do everything. You should try to do your specialty. If you are really good at hand carving and woodworking and turning out production lines, that is fantastic. You should free yourself up by hiring somebody like Heather to do your administrative work and your bookkeeping. I can't tell you how much you're going to be happy and you're going to thank me. You're going to email and thank me when you hire a bookkeeper, because when it comes tax time, you're not going to be staying up at night, waking up screaming from being scared of your taxes.
So true. So true. And not everybody has a passion for numbers and spreadsheets. So do what you love and let someone else do the rest.
Yeah, that's so true. I mean, with that, is this something that, when you first got started, you really saw, a need, and, immediately upon starting it, you had, businesses coming to you to look for these services? Because I'm sure, for a lot of micro businesses where their specialty does not lie in the numbers, this is something that was probably really a godsend for them.
Yeah, I did find that the feedback was really positive. I wasn't sure when I was looking to start my own business exactly where I was going to focus my energy. I have a lot of interests and a lot of things I love to do, and I wanted to incorporate that with the business I was starting. Like I said, most people don't have a passion for bookkeeping and numbers, but I actually really enjoy math, and I really enjoy an answer and, something that's very tidy and something that you can make the way it's supposed to be, and it's the way it's supposed to be. For me, that's kind of why I geared myself in this direction. And I found when I started the business that everyone I spoke to said that is a really great idea. I could use that business. I never thought of hiring someone independently, not on staff, to do my bookkeeping. So I found really a lot of positive feedback with the business.
I think that's a great point, is that hiring somebody independently as a subcontractor in a service is such a great thing for micro businesses, especially because you can't afford to hire on a full-time accountant and bookkeeper. You can't afford to cover that salary and to pay all the overhead and the insurance when you're only going to be running something that's going to be going through a couple $100,000 or less in net revenue a year. So, really, hiring somebody else, paying for them to set up your QuickBooks account and then doing the monthly auditing of that account and keeping everything in order, it's such a tremendous value for money.
It really takes a lot of stress off of your plate as a business owner. Everybody as a micro business, including myself, is a jack of all trades. They're doing every job in their company, just trying to get it started with no money. So being able to hire somebody to do, the little things that aren't your main focus of what's going to make you money, but you need to actually run your business, like bookkeeping and administrative tasks, email campaigns, social media, all this stuff that is completely overwhelming to someone who is either not educated in those areas or hates them or really just doesn't have the time to do them, even if they do enjoy doing that. So if you can outsource that to somebody else who can fit it in random times and random amounts of hours for you as what you need. It's customized with no heavy monetary commitment up front. I think it's a valuable service.
I know we've talked about your bookkeeping, but you also do social media marketing, setting up and campaigns for individuals as well. Is that right?
I do. One good thing about working with Elevated Admin is I'm the only employee. So you work with me. It's personalized. So I work with lots of different industries and they all need different things. It could be a gym, a property rental, medical software company. They all need something different. And so I've got a lot of experience with different platforms and different sorts of editorial tasks. And so, yes, I do help run email campaigns on MailChimp. I write the copy for them if you need me to. I can import your lists of contacts, all sorts of different tasks that take time. That take a lot of time away from what you're doing with your actual business.
Yeah, I love what you said there about, how you work with all these different types of companies. A lot of times people think, the types of businesses in Vermont is really kind of a monolith of just a few different industries. But, there's really just this wide array of businesses that, people can work with. And so, the fact that you've been able to experience all these different businesses and around what their needs are, I think that's really great. And especially for small business owners, having having to fall back on your experience with all these different businesses, could really be comforting for them because they know that you're going to know their business and what their needs are.
Right.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, being a jack of all trades, do you find that a lot of your clients will hire you for bookkeeping, but then end up wanting some of your other services?
Yes, absolutely. That comes up most often, I will say. And like I said, each one is a little different and they don't really know, since they are all different, they don't know what they're looking for, I guess, often, like I need to run an email campaign and I can offer a suggestion. Well, I've used this particular platform to do that. And I found it didn't work very well, or I found it was very easy and convenient for what you're looking to do. I can pull from a lot more areas, I feel like, than just being pigeonholed in an only a numbers game here.
Right. No, I mean, for a small business, that would be like a godsend.
Right.
Having a whole administrative team in one,
Right.
Outside hire, I can see the value that you're bringing to any micro business, small business,
Right.
Immediately.
It also is helpful to work with all these different industries and people because I can refer them to each other. When I don't have an answer or it's something out of my wheelhouse, I say, well, I'm not able to help you with that, but you should talk to so-and-so, and I'm able to connect people that way as well.
Absolutely. Business networking, especially in Vermont with micro businesses, is so important because it really is knowing the different people in the different industries and how to connect them. As business counselors, we do that all the time, and really understanding how everything works together. It gives such a great mental picture of kind of the whole landscape of business in Vermont and around the area. So I can definitely appreciate that you're using clients to be able to help benefit each other. And you're really, when they come on with you and your service for bookkeeping, they're really joining your network that's larger. I mean, that's a huge value added proposition. It's one of my favorite topics, value added proposition. You are just crammed full of it. Besides the bookkeeping, advice on email campaigns, marketing. Anybody listening to this, do you have a micro business? You got to contact Heather. You got to contact her. You got to learn about her services. You got to sign up because you know why? Because I can already see the emails coming in and I can hear the phone calls coming in. Come about, I don't know, about February, everyone panicking for tax time. Everyone panicking. And I'm going to say, you should have got a bookkeeper. We'll help you through it. That's what we're here for. We're going to help you get through this. But man, if you would have got a bookkeeper, if you would have called Heather, remember that podcast we sent out months ago? If you would have called Heather, you would right now be totally relaxed and fine with your taxes. It's such a low monthly fee. You need to build it into your financial plans. Any professional business will build in the cost of bookkeeping and taxes into their financial projections. We can help you with that, the micro business program, and I strongly suggest it.
So, pivoting a little bit onto the micro business development program, you've worked with us, and you started your business with some help from the micro business development program. Can you tell us a little bit about what that was like?
Absolutely. I did work with you. You guys really changed my life for the better. as I mentioned, I moved here from San Francisco, originally from Vermont, went to San Francisco for quite some time, came back about 4 years ago to Rutland. Didn't have any connections here in Rutland, and I am a mom. So I moved to Rutland, had some kids, and had to figure out what I wanted to do with my life. And I know I wanted to own my own business. I wanted to work for myself because it was important to me. And I know so many micro business owners here that I could control my schedule and that I could be home when I needed to be home and I could be working when I needed to be working, whether that was at 6 a.m. or 11 p.m. So I knew that I wanted to start my own business, but I had no idea what to do and how I was going to do that. And I saw an ad, I can't remember where I saw it, but I saw an ad for a micro business workshop through Brock. And that was at the time hosted by Annette Hoyle, Tyler's predecessor. And I attended that workshop just to kind of get an idea of what to do. And it went from there. I feel like I was able to make a connection with Annette, and maybe she made me feel like she took a special interest in me, which made me feel special and encouraging, and really made me feel like I could do this. And I think that she gives everybody that comes through there that same treatment. And I think that Tyler, you are doing a great job of continuing that positive, reinforced, you can do this vibe coming through here. So it went from there. I met with her and she helped me work out what I wanted to do, what was practical for me to do, rein in my interests and figure out something that I could enjoy doing and could get started right away. And this was a very low overhead plan. I needed a computer, a phone, some bookkeeping software, and my brain, basically, my education. So I had a great experience working through it. I think it took maybe six months to go through the whole process, and I felt very secure in it. I felt like when the time for the business to start, I had done all the work. You guys, Brock guided me through exactly what I needed to do, step by step parts of the business plan, the financials, the marketing, the advertising, applying for my business license, my business ID number, everything was streamlined and very straightforward and easy for me to follow the plan. So I had a great experience working with all of you, and it's continuing. I don't know if you want me to speak on the Embrace grant or not.
Yeah, absolutely. Heather, thank you so much for saying all those things. I know Annette is going to get this, and she's going to be so thrilled to do that. Annette was a business counselor at Brock for over 10 years, and she's definitely missed. But it's one of those things that I think all of us really take is a personal interest in the individuals that come into the program and really connecting with them. Because when you get that connection, you got to really build trust with the counselor and with the client between, and you got to really know a lot about each other to really work the plan forward. Because I can't help somebody with a business plan unless I really understand how they as an individual think and how their life works and fits together in their finances. It's really a holistic approach to figuring out what will work for the individual. Just because the business will work, it doesn't necessarily mean that the individual's right for that business. So I think that's just a fantastic way to summarize it. And in the business planning process, so many people find really opens up ideas or can prevent different pitfalls and really guides through the process. So thank you for that. You were also an Embrace grant recipient as well. So that was part of the microbusiness program. Can you talk a little bit about your process through the Embrace grant and if you were able to get funding, if that was worked out well?
Yes, the Embrace grant was fantastic. And I learned about that through the weekly deep dive that I got in my email from you guys. And I thought it would be perfect actually for one of my local clients. And so I passed along that information to him. He was exactly the person it was for. It really is a one-man show with a lot of overhead that had to be shut down during COVID, and the grant was just invaluable to saving his business and really helping it move forward. So after I helped him with it, I thought, I could really benefit from this as well. So I filled out the application. I really thought hard about what I could use the funding for to make my business better and to help it reach, I guess, a further distance, or I'm not sure the word I'm looking for, reach a bigger group at a better level, at a higher level of service. And I applied and I was able to receive funding because apparently I am exactly the person this funding was for as well. So I encouraged everyone I could to reach out and look and see if this was right for them. And it was a really great experience. And Ben, you helped me with that process.
Yeah. So, I love to hear that, this is a perfect example of small businesses helping other small businesses. You talking about your own personal experience with the grant, seeing that, you could potentially use it to expand your market and move forward with it, exactly the type of people that or the businesses that we were looking for to be grant recipients. So, I love to hear your personal story working with the Embrace grant and, working with us. So
well, thank you again.
The whole grant, the whole Embrace grant was meant specifically for that. When we were first originally writing the Embrace grant for a proposal to the legislature way back in March, I had clients in mind, and those clients, it was in fact you. It was other clients I work with that I was thinking of who would benefit from this and how could it work to help stabilize Vermont's economy during COVID. All these businesses are closing. We have to shore up the ones we can and get them to be larger and grow and be sustainable and survive through COVID-19. So definitely thinking about you and your business model that was working and generating income, but knowing how much COVID-19 would have an impact on businesses like yours and figuring out what could really do that. So it's definitely appreciated. It's so amazing that it actually got there. The one thing that makes me the happiest though is you heard about it on the deep dive right here. That's just fantastic. I'm so happy. We have a lot of avid weekly readers, and that is just great. Well, I really appreciate you joining us, Heather. You have been fantastic. You are definitely a top-notch bookkeeper, and somebody that we highly recommend from the Micro Business Development Program is to contact Heather. We're going to have all the contact information included in the links. You want to give a shout out right now for your contact information, Heather?
Sure. It's Heather at elevatedadmin.com, or you can go to my website, elevatedadmin.com. You just remember Elevated Admin, you're going to find me.
Thank you for listening to the Deep Dive Podcast featuring three guys in ties. Hopefully you've learned something from us here today. And if you would like to learn more about our free business counseling, please check us out on the web at www.mbdp.org. mbdp.org. Thank you for listening, and we hope to hear from you soon.